people, welcome to another video on the channel, and today it is what did we learn from Spurs 3, Forest 1. I'm going to be going through the points, what happened, and all that good stuff. But before we do, like and subscribe, all that, and without further ado, let's go. So my first point is we need to capitalise on our pressure. Now, what do I mean by this? For the first 20 minutes of the first half, Spurs were pretty much all over us, went 1-0 up. But after that, Chris Wood scored a counter-attacking goal, completely against the run of play, yes. But after that, for pretty much the rest of the half, we were definitely on top. Chris Wood missed another sitter. I believe Hudson-Odoi missed another point-blank chance. So we could have easily been going in at half-time 3-1 up. And also they could have, they could have had Maddison sent off, but, we'll leave that, I've got that in another point. But what I'm basically trying to say is if we capitalise on those chances, then the game is completely different. The momentum is different psychologically for us, it's different psychologically for them, it's different. The whole mood of it changes. Obviously, they go in at half-time, we're level, they come out and they completely dominate us in the second half. I was sat on a call with one of my friends and I was saying, we need to, score one of these chances because Spurs are not going to play this bad in the second half, and that's exactly what happened, quite frankly. They scored an absolute rocket and then some awful defending for the third goal. So, yeah, if we capitalise on at least one of those chances, I think we leave with something. If we capitalised on both, I think we could be poised in a very good position to get the win. Even if it was just one, then I think we could have at least left with a point. Moving on to the second lesson, Ryan Yates needs to stop getting booked. Now, don't get me wrong, I am a defender. I am part of the Ryan Yates Defence League at this point. I'm a big defender of him, but he needs to stop getting booked, man. Against Fulham, I thought he was very, very underrated. I thought his performance went massively under the radar. But against Spurs, he just gets booked for the most daft and just avoidable fouls ever. Honestly, I think out of all the squad, he's definitely comfortably top of the most fouls conceded. It is quite painful to watch sometimes because then he has to sort of back out of tackles out of the risk of getting a red card. And yeah, his defensive performance was not as good as what it could have been. And it's happened in a couple of previous games as well. So honestly, if he could just iron that out, I'm convinced he's a top Premier League centre mid for the level that we are at. It's just overall, it's reckless challenges. It's only a matter of time before he gets sent off at some point. And he's a very good player. Could have easily got on the score sheet against Spurs as well. So it's very frustrating. He's a good player to have in the midfield, robust, a threat from set plays, even though we don't capitalise on them whatsoever. But he's still a threat, no less. And he's just a good player to have, but he just needs to stop these reckless challenges, and he will be so much highly rated. Point and lesson number 3 is we need to just learn to defend. Defensively, it was pretty just bad. Let's be real here, just bad. Again, the second goal you can sort of, cut some slack for because it is an absolute rocket. And defensively, it wasn't a terrible structure from a set play. And it was just an absolute screamer from Van der Ven. But the third goal, who's marking the general area of Pedro Porro? He's got a good 5 yards of just space around him. And he puts it into the corner. Honestly, without Sells, the amount of mistakes our defense gets let off with is absolutely mental to me. It's just so bad. The first goal as well, low driven cross. Yes, Muriel does get him very unlucky with it. Tries to block it, but it just goes into the net. It's just defensively, it's just so bad, really. It's just something needs to improve. You can obviously when it comes to Nuno, you can hold him accountable for this. The other 2 points, you can't really hold him accountable for because he doesn't directly control the players. He doesn't tell Wood what part of the goal to shoot in when he misses that point blank chance. He doesn't tell Ryan Yates to go in with those clumsy challenges and get stupid yellow cards. He doesn't tell them to do that. Whereas this, you can hold him a little bit to just defending, but also you have to say to the defence, have some common sense and just look over your shoulder to see that Pedro Porro is in acres of space, despite being a right back. And the final point is VAR. It's absolutely pointless. How James Maddison did not get sent off for just twatting Ryan Yates in the first half. I will never know. I will never know how he was not sent off. Just turns around and just pumps him right in the stomach. Yates goes down, and then like, it's again a completely different game. We score one of those chances and Spurs go down to 10 men. Completely different game, and we definitely leave Spurs with at least a point then. So yeah, it was just terrible, quite frankly. I say you can't necessarily blame the ref too much for not sending Maddison off, because he wouldn't have been looking at that. But VAR's there for a bloody reason. Right, what? They're probably watching Coronation Street or something. There's absolutely, like, no point in it being there if they're gonna miss stupid stuff like that. It's a complete waste of time, and it may as well just be shoved in the bin like most of the other referees that ref the Premier League. But yeah, to summarise, how do I think, we can learn and improve going into the Wolves game? Hopefully have a competent person on VAR. That's going to be obviously very difficult because there is very few competent referees in England. But yeah, someone competent to run VAR. Because overall, I do think the actual referee was not that bad. Didn't really get much wrong. But VAR's there to help him. VAR did not help him in any way, shape or form. Just defensively, just be a lot more alert and a lot more aware. We knew Spurs were going to throw the absolute kitchen sink at us. That is what they do. They get everyone forwards when attacking pretty much. Like, just be a bit more alert and aware of Pedro Porro. And for Wolves, just be alert when they're attacking. And if Ryan Yates does start, he just needs to stop doing the clumsy challenges. I'll be surprised if he does, because I can envision Nuno dropping him despite his good performance against Fulham. And finally, just finish your dinner on the goal scoring chance. Could have easily, as I said, be 3-1 up at half-time. And after that, obviously, Ange changes things. He makes a double substitution at half-time. Changes things, obviously gives them a pretty decent team talk. And Spurs come out and absolutely pepper and dominate us for 45 minutes after that. And we get next to no sniffs at goal. But yeah, that is the video. Make sure you smash a like on the video. Subscribe if you are, in fact, new to the channel. And yeah, thank you all very much for watching. And I will see you all in the next video. Au revoir.